Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my show review here on IG. Was y'all was y'all looking for me? I was like, where episode 7 at? Where Kaylee at? Where the show? I know. Y'all was looking for me, but I'm here and I'm back. And I'm probably gonna end up posting this on Euphoria Sunday just to make it easy. Just do one clip and because we're at the end, y'all. We have reached the end. um Season finale is this Sunday, so I'm extremely excited, a little disappointed that we don't have more episodes, because overall as a season I would definitely say we didn't get a lot. Like, we definitely seen a lot of growth in the characters and in their lives, and a lot of changes were made in the characters' lives, but I don't think we got a lot of story push. Um, and this episode is actually Lexi's episode, and it's about her play. And in the play, we get a lot of backstory, which I guess is cool, it's good, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the biggest Lexi fan. I definitely do feel like she's a dry character. I understand being like a loner and being like a wallflower and all that stuff because I'm definitely one of those. But she's just not that interesting. Like, she doesn't captivate me on screen. She doesn't make me want to be like, oh, what's going on with Lexi? Like, where's Lexi? Like, I want to keep up with her. Like, no. But she's sweet, she's cute, and she's a writer and she's a loner like me, so I definitely relate. So yeah, let's get into it. It starts the episode off with a picture of some sort of plant. It looks like a decoration for the house, and it says the word overture um next to the design, and it looks like it's sitting on a table in the house because eventually Lexi comes through the door and you can see that it's like a decoration piece. So I looked up the word overture, and it's actually an orchestral piece at the beginning of an opera suite play, etc. So basically it's like a opening musical piece that comes before a play or an opera or something of that sort. So it was appropriate for this episode since obviously Lexi is doing her play, so they did a nod towards plays and operas and such, which was pretty cool. Once I knew what it was, at first I was like, why? Because that scene was kind of long. Like, that little first part where it was just like the plant, I was just like, I'm assuming that was a plant. And then I thought that maybe that was the name of the plant. But then I was like, why would that be important? So I was like, let me just look it up. But yeah, a orchestral, that's a weird word to say, piece at the beginning of an opera suite, play, etc. So yeah, basically like that was the vibes. And then we go, so then we see I was about to say we see Rihanna because I seen her name written down because that poster was in Rue's it was in Rue's room, rated R, and I was gonna speak on that. But anyways, so we see Lexi's face as she's preparing for the play, and someone comes to get her and tells her it's showtime. And then we go to Ruth's dad's funeral in real life, and Lexi's walking around. She's noticing Rue's mom talking to people, and her mom is actually comforting Rue's mom, and she's washing the dishes and cleaning up and stuff. So that lets us know that the two moms did interact and they were friendly. And they seem to be pretty close for her to just be like washing dishes in her house and whatnot. And so Lexi goes through the hallway, and her friends Cassie and Maddie are in the hallway and to where Rue's bedroom door is. And Lexi basically was like, is Rue in there? And they're like, yeah. And they were like, so she was like, so no one's gonna go in, everyone's just gonna stand outside her door like creepily and like gossip and stuff. And everybody was just like, yeah, we don't know what to do, like like this is weird. And it turns out that the characters are actually being played in that moment by the characters in the play. So in this episode, it's a lot of back and forth between real life, where we see the actual actors that we're used to playing these roles play them, and then the play life, where the people that Lexi put in her play to play these people. This is getting really confusing because I keep play, a lot of playing. But basically, they have their doppelgangers from the play in actual scenes, and then they have the real life people play in actual scenes, and then they have the play where the doppelgangers are in the actual play. So it's a lot of just jumping back and forth and like mixing the real life ones with the doppelgangers. And if you don't know what a doppelganger is, it's basically like your double. You know how they say actors have to have a double or a stunt double, somebody who looks exactly like them, so if they're sick or they can't do it, the other person does it. Well, that's more of an understudy, but you get what I'm saying. So they had a lot of that going on, where it was crossing back and forth, and it was making it really confusing. It made it interesting and really fun to be like, oh wait, that's not them, wait, that's her, wait, is this the play, wait, is this real life, wait, is that? But they always got you like that, you know, like I feel like every episode we're always like, are we in the past, are we in the future, like what are we doing? So they just continued to do their style with this, which was pretty cool. So Lexi goes inside Rue's room, and that's when I said the Rihanna Rated R poster was actually hanging on her wall. And that's my favorite Rihanna album. That's actually the album that made me a fan of Rihanna. So I was like, shout out to that. And I do feel like Rue would listen to that, just because you know, Rue is like edgy and grungy, and I feel like that's when Rihanna was going through that phase, like the edgy grungy phase. So that was cool. And then it also gave us like a nod to time as well, because remember how I was saying last show review, that time is really confusing when it comes to music, because it feels like all they do is play like throwback music for the show, and even the characters are always listening to throwback music. So I was like, oh, something modern for once, cool, like a little nod to like real life, even though that album is kind of old too, because it came out when I was in college. So yeah, like a decade ago, which is crazy. Ugh, I'm old. Anyway, so Lexi winds up reading Rue a play, and Rue snorted some drugs off of a book. So we know that at that point in time in her life, she was already at that level, which she said her dad died at 13. Rue was 13. So we already know that Rue was already doing drugs by preteen stages, because at 13 you're snorting shit. Yeah, you started real early. And so she reads the play Let This Darkness Be a Bell Tower, which I thought was a beautiful play. I'm actually a poet myself. I write poems, I write songs. So this was nice to that they put that in there. And basically what I took away from it was kind of like, in a nutshell, long story short, basically saying like, look at, you know, your dark times in a positive light. Like, find the light within your dark times and let it lead you to like better times. No? Yeah. So it turns back into the play while she's reading it. And so now she's reading to the fake Rue, whose name was Jade in the play, I believe. And Rue is in the audience. We see the Rue's in the audience. Everyone's there at the play. Rue has an eye shot of Jules, so she keeps looking over there at Jules to see her reactions to stuff. Bobby. Can we shout out Bobby real quick? Like, Bobby was like the director of Lexi's play, and she basically was like over everything, lights, cues, making sure actors were in the right spot, doing the right thing, wearing the right shit. Even when it came down to Lexi, she was her backup for everything. So I was just like, go Bobby, go Bobby, go. Like, I really I need a motherfucking rider like Bobby. I don't know if she was getting paid because this is high school and this is, a high school play, so maybe this was all volunteering. But I need me somebody like Bobby in my life to run my creative shit and to just help me elevate to the next level. Like that's exactly what I need, a fucking Bobby. Cause she, like, Lexi would have been nothing without Bobby. Like, Bobby was on point, okay? And she did not motherfucking play. Oh, I had wrote, bring out the fucking letters now. Cause Bobby had said that, like, it was pretty fucking hilarious. Like, she was like, bring the fucking letters out now. I just love the way Bobby was like, she got that little cute innocent baby voice, but like attitude on let's go. Okay, like attitude was on I'm the boss and y'all better have this shit together and y'all better get it, like, y'all better on cue, let's go, like, don't be fucking up. And so the letters came out and it spelled out Our Life, which is the name of the play. And so it goes back to real life. Fexi, I guess that's Fezco and Lexi together. I did see that on Instagram, people putting their name together like Fexi. I still don't ship them. And this episode really backed me up with that, because I was saying last review that I'm not really with them too, and this episode just basically solidified that, because they were on the phone or whatever, and I guess Rue was narrating and said that they be talking on the phone every day. So, but their conversation was so boring. I was just like, what's happening? So they were basically having the same conversation that they had last episode when they were like watching Stand By Me and they were like having their little date or whatever. They had the exact same conversation on the phone again. Like she was like, do you think people will be upset with my play? And then he's like, well, what's the play about again? And she was like, friendship and growing apart and blah blah and whatever the fuck she was saying. And he was like, well, I don't know if, it just depends. Like, if somebody put me in a play and I ain't know, and then I went and saw it, I would have some questions. Like, I was just like, what is happening? Like, his advice, I was just like, first of all, he high as hell. He smoked weed the whole fucking time that he be talking to her. And he don't be following half the time. He be like, what are we talking about? And then on top of that, y'all keep having the same conversation over and over, because it looked like the days kept going by. Like, it would be like the next time, like it was one conversation, but their clothes kept changing and their scenery kept changing. So it was showing us that these are like multiple conversations, but it was all the same conversation, which just goes to show that all they talk about is that damn play. And he be like bored with the conversation, like, what are we talking about again? Oh, that play again? Okay, well, no, they shouldn't be upset with you, Lexi. Like, he's just like, girl, like, really? Like, if your intentions are pure, like, you should have nothing to worry about type shit. And so, yeah, I just wasn't feeling the chemistry in that at all. I could see them as friends and everything, but romantic vibes, I just don't get it. So, oh yeah, and he used the phrase stroking the bee's nest. He said, yeah, you might be stroking the bee's nest with that one. And I was like, how old is Fez? Like, stroking the bee? I've never even heard. And like, what? Like, I got country ass family and I still ain't never heard that shit. Like, what are we talking about? But, when you hit a bee's nest, they do go crazy. So I guess that's what he meant. Like, but stroking? I was just like, okay, Fez, with your grandpa. Well, he was raised by his grandma, so that does make sense. I was like, with your little grandpa advice. So Lexi's scared, now, and really nervous because she essentially doesn't want to hurt people's feelings, but she's just, the play is about real life. So if you're upset with real life, then maybe you should look inward. I don't know. But, okay, so we're back to the play where Lexi is telling the audience that her sister Hallie, aka Cassie in real life, is going through puberty, and that was her biggest mark on her life so far. Like, that's the biggest monument in her life so far, is her sister going through puberty, which I was just like, damn, that sucks. Like, shouldn't it be something about you and not your sister? So yeah, Hallie gets boobs or whatever, and it's basically Hallie comes dropping out of the sky in this little like ring with these like angel wings, and she has on like this white dress, and she's just like basically like perfection falling out of the sky. Like that's how Lexi views her sister. And she was just like, oh, this dress is not flattering, and do I look pretty, and da 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 da, like doing the whole Cassie thing. And then Lexi's like, hey Hallie, like I'm kind of putting on a play here, like they're waiting for me to finish my monologue, like you kind of interrupted. And she was just like, oh, excuse me, my bad. Like when she saw the audience, she's like trying to like show off or whatever and get attention. So it just basically showed you how no matter what Lexi does, she just feels like Cassie gets the attention, and like whatever Cassie's going through is more important than whatever Lexi's going through. That's what I took away from it. And so then she goes on to say that she wants to be hot like her sister. They're 433 days apart. Because I was always wondering about that. I was like, how much younger is Lexi from Cassie? Because they act like they're the same age and they're in the same grade. So I get really confused about that. But apparently Cassie is 433 days older than Lexi. So that's a year and some change apart, obviously. And she was like, so in 433 days, I should look just like Hallie. And obviously that's not proper logic, but if you're a kid, you know, I guess that makes sense. So then we go back to Fez's house where Faye is steaming his button-down shirt in some little ass booty shorts that look like underwear with her little tiny little cheeks hanging out the bottom. And she acting like a housewife. Like she walking around with the booty cheeks out. She steaming the man's shirt, and so that he can wear it to the play or whatever. So I'm like, you getting him ready for a date with another bitch? Like, okay. And so he comes in and he's just like, oh yes, thank you. Like you're just everything I need. Like bless your sweet heart. Like I appreciate you so much. And honestly, like I was right. Remember I said Fez just need to go ahead and fuck Faye and leave Lexi alone? I was right, because they got chemistry. Fez and Faye got chemistry. Lexi and Fez ain't got no chemistry to me. Like at least not in a romantic way. Like yeah, y'all like he be, you know, y'all be talking on the phone and he be helping you feel better about your play and da da da. But that's some friendship shit. The way he was treating Faye, it was like that was his wife. Like she, the woman of the house. Like, you feel me? Like, and it don't take long for a woman to become the woman of the house, especially when it's nothing but niggas living in the house. Like, once you start doing girl shit in a man's house, you the lady of the house. Like, it don't take much to get that role, because you know men are lost without us. Like they can't find their damn head if we're not there to find that motherfucker. Like, and I'm talking about both heads. They won't be able to find either head unless we find it. Like, promise you. So he just, once a girl comes into a man's life that's been single for so long, he be like, damn, like he appreciate that woman, because he be like, wow, y'all, like I see why a man and a woman go together, because we be needing y'all ass. Like we really be needing y'all ass. Like he done caught on to that with having Faye around, because he was very appreciative. Do you hear me? And then when he said, bless your heart, I said, no, bless your heart, fans, because you are just too adorable. Like, I cannot. So then the boyfriend walks in, which I'm just like, is that still her boyfriend? She acts so awkward around him, even before the whole feds thing came up about him ratting him out to the feds and all that. Even before all of that came up, she was always acting weird around him. Ever since she moved in with Fez, she been acting weird every time that boy come around. Cause I'm just thinking logically. If I'm living with somebody that's not my man, and my man comes over to see me or to hang out or whatever, I'm about to be excited. I'm about to be jumping up and down. I'm about to be hugging him around the neck. I'm about to be kissing him. I'm about to be all up under him while he over there. You know what I'm saying? And it just seems like ever since she moved in with Fez, she be looking at him like she can't, like she just don't know who the fuck this nigga is. I'm like, did you forget that that's your man? Like, I'm so confused. And like, I know she awkward around him now because he working with the feds and he trying to, you know, fuck up Ashtray and Fez, but she just, even if your man was doing something wrong, ain't you supposed to have his back? Ain't you supposed to be like, okay, babe, like, I got you. Like, yeah, babe, like, okay, like, let me rub my booty cheeks on you, because I got them all out in the house with Ashtray and Fez looking at them all day long, so I might as well rub them on you a little bit. Like, she didn't get him no attention. Like, he grabbed the back of her leg or whatever, but I was just like, I just don't see it. I don't see, like, it's gone for Faye. She don't want you. And I'm like, I don't see how he isn't jealous or picking up on those vibes. Maybe he's so shook up by the police that he's not even noticing that his girlfriend is walking around the house in booty shorts, steaming another nigga's shirt. Like, and then he was like, oh, where you going? He was like, oh, you headed out? You going to a party? And Fez was like, man, don't worry about me, worry about you. I was like, this is why I love Fez, because he is truly a thug. Like, that is a thug man. Do you understand me? He said, don't worry about me, man. Worry about yourself. Worry about what you got going on. And so the boyfriend was like, okay, well, all right, well, I guess I'm just going to sit down and chill. And I'm just like, if Fez is leaving, why are you sitting down and chill? I mean, I guess to hang out with Faye, but like I said, they don't act like a couple. They don't hang out. They don't spend time together when he comes over there. Because there was this one scene, remember one scene where a couple episodes ago, Faye, Fez, and Ashtray were all sitting in the living room smoking. They each had their own blunt, and I was like, I need to be part of that family. But they was all watching TV together, and then the boyfriend knocks on the door. Faye don't go to see her boyfriend. She don't, oh, my boyfriend's here, let me go see him. No, she stays in the living room smoking, chilling. And then he talks to Fez about something, which we still don't know exactly what that conversation was about. That was never cleared up. But I was just like, I don't know, it's just weird. I'm just like, how does he not pick up on the fact that she ain't feeling him no more and she's definitely feeling Fez? Like, how does he not pick up on that? For him to sit there and be like, I love you and I want you to stay out of this and I'm about to do such and such and such, and I'm like, how do you even still trust her when she fucking with your op, basically? But I guess he be fucking with the op too, so I don't know. I just was, that whole dynamic is strange to me. But I was right about Fez and Faye, that they probably gonna end up together, or that Faye's definitely feeling Fez. I'm not gonna say in love, but she's definitely feeling Fez hard. So back to Lexi. Now she's directing, and she's telling the actor that's playing Cassie that she need to do better, or that she need to pull back a little bit, that she's being a little too corny or whatever. And the girl starts crying. I was like, oh, she needed to play Cassie. Because I'm like, she can't take no criticism, and you an actress? Like, what's going on? And Lexi was like, you're an actress. This is a play. This is a production. You just take the note, and then you just apply it. Like, what are you, like, why are you crying? And I was like, because she Cassie. Because you picked the right person to play Cassie, basically. And her mom is in the audience loving the play. Like, the whole time, her mom was just like, ah, like, being loud. Like, you know, the loud black mom? Like, that's how she was acting. And she was just like, oh my God, that's me. Like, every time when Odu would come out, Ethan would come out playing her with the wine glass and the crazy hair. And, okay, ladies, time for bed, and all this shit. The mom would go nuts. Like, oh my God, that's me. Like, this play is so good. Like, she just, you know, the mom from Mean Girls. And Kris Jenner, you're doing amazing, sweetie. Like, that's what this mom was giving. She was giving the mom from Mean Girls, who was doing like the little routine in the hallway, like in the audience. And then, of course, the Kris Jenner, the momager of all momagers. So yeah, she was giving those vibes, which I was here for it. I was like, show love to your daughter, baby. Show love. So now we're at 433 days later, because remember, Lexi said, oh, all I have to do is wait 433 days and I'll be hot like my sister, because that's the only time between us. So once I reach to her point where she's at, I'll be just as hot as her. And so now we're at 433 days later in the play, and of course it didn't happen like that. She still looks like her. She doesn't have big tits like Cassie. She's not the hot girl or whatever that she thought she was gonna be once she got to Cassie's age, where Cassie blossomed. And so you have the real Cassie coming over, like talking to her like, don't worry, Lex. Some guys like small titties. Like being all condescending and shit. And then she was like, well, maybe they're not. And Lexi was like, well, maybe they're not done like growing or whatever. And then the fake Cassie, the actress, comes around the corner and she was like looking, they were like looking in the mirror and she's like standing behind her and she was like, no, they're done growing. You're just gonna have small boobs. Like, and Lexi was like, well, maybe. She was like, nope, they're done growing. And I was just like, damn, like, bitch, I would have been like, and what? I don't give a fuck. And I still get niggas. Oh, well, I ain't never really had that problem, so I don't know what I would have said. But I wouldn't have let her play me like that. Well, she did kind of come back with something. Lexi was like, I don't want to be known for my body anyway. It was a Lexi comeback, but it was a comeback nonetheless. But she's right though. Like, growing up curvy, like, I definitely used to think that. Like, I used to be like, I wish that, like, well, I had a lot of reasons for wishing I wasn't curvy because obviously the society looks down on it, even though it's a natural, normal thing to be a curvy person. But, so of course I had a whole bunch of complexes with that situation, but one of them being that we're overly sexualized and it results in people not even really wanting to know what's inside our brains or that we even have a brain, like the whole big boob bimbo thing. And it's not just for white girls, it's not just for blondes, but it's for all of us curvy girls. We all have to go through that. We all have to be treated like we have nothing good to say because we have big titties or hips or booty or thighs or all of it or some of it or whatever. Like, if you're curvy in any way, like, you're automatically just considered a sex plaything or whatever, which I've definitely hated all my life having to deal with that, and to this day still do. But as you can see, baby, I got the gift of the gab, and I'm an English major, and I know how to talk, and I'm very, very well spoken. So think I'm a bimbo if you want to, because I will pull that degree out on your ass and just start speaking and speak, and then you gonna feel like a bimbo because you're gonna be like, what are you saying? What does that mean? Yeah, don't play with me. Don't play with me. So So then we go to real life. Cassie's in the hallway with Nate, walking down the hallway, and she done designed herself exactly like Maddie. Like, makeup like Maddie. She done bone straightened her hair. She usually has like waves like this. I wasn't trying to be Cassie today or nothing, but I mean, I guess this is kind of a Maddie Cassie combination, because we got the blonde hair and then we got I'm new at this, guys. I'm new at the whole like trying different things, the whole like hooded thing, the trend that everyone's doing. Like, I'm literally, makeup is not a talent of mine or a passion, but I have to do it for my creating content, modeling, all kinds of things. If I want to save money, I just do my own makeup. So over time, I've just gotten really good, and it just seems like anytime I try something new, especially with this whole Euphoria review thing, I've really been putting myself to the test. I've really been coming out strong. Like, I think I've been doing good. Like, there was a few of those looks where I was like, ugh. But for the most part, I think I've been doing real good with the looks, guys. And I've really been enjoying myself. This has been really fun. And I feel like a lot of people, because I follow a lot of beauty pages, obviously, and modeling pages and stuff like that because of my profession. So a lot of people have been having fun with the Euphoria looks, as we call them. So that's really cool. I like the community that this show has provided, or that this show has created within, the Euphoria fans. So we see that, and she walks past Maddie and Kat in the hallway, and Maddie goes, well, she certainly looks the part. And I just like that Maddie took the high road. I really do. I'm glad she took the high road. I know she was hurt for a while. Last episode, she was really sad. And even when she was babysitting, because I don't even think this was in my last review, because I had trimmed it down some, and I think it took the Maddie part out. But basically, she was really depressed about the situation because she really cares about her friend, and she genuinely was hurt. And not just because of Nate, but because of the fact that like she was best friends with Cassie and she was completely like crazy about her. So um she so that was the reaction we got, depression, instead of what we thought we was gonna get. We thought she was gonna whoop that ass. Cause remember, it was on Super Bowl Sunday and everybody kept saying like, oh, Maddie or Cassie, like that's the teams that are going against each other. Fuck the Super Bowl or whatever. But yeah, we ended up not even getting a fight, so joke was on us. And the whole internet. Joke was on the whole internet. But I totally understand that though. Like sometimes it's not about fighting and being violent and or whatever. It's really just about the fact that like, damn, I never thought you would hurt me. Like certain people that you love, especially people who've been in your life for a long time, or just people that you allowed yourself to get super close and vulnerable with throughout the friendship or whatever, it really does hurt when they betray you. Like, yeah, you think you would whoop their ass and you think you would be like, oh, I'm gonna fuck that bitch up, or I'm gonna do something to her, like I'm gonna get her back, revenge, blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, you really do just be hurt, because you be like, damn, I really considered that person somebody that I love, and I trusted that person to love me back, and this is what they did. And boy, that shit hit home, because I had some people that I really let my guard down with that really betrayed me in life, and I just like, I'm getting over it. Like, I'm growing up and just having to deal with that and just get over it. But that shit hurts, especially when you're a teenager, but even as an adult, like people that you just thought were gonna have your back forever, and it's just like one little life change and they're like, fuck you. It's like, whoa, okay, that really fucking hurts. But anyway, so now we're back to the play, and Lexi, she keeps looking out in the audience looking for Fez, because he promised that he was gonna be there. He was like, oh, I'm gonna be in the front row, shawty, like you ain't gotta worry about it. I just love the way he talks to her, because she is not hood at all. So it's just hilarious how he be doing his little lingo with her, and she just be eating it up. Like she was like, ah! Like it was funny. It was a cute little moment. But she was also doing her overhead talking, which I think must have been considered her monologues for the play, because Rue was narrating. So when we hear Lexi, I think that's just her talking like during the play. So she was talking about how one small moment, she was basically saying like she lives her life in her head, which I definitely relate to, because I've been living my life in my head since I was born. Like reality ain't even really reality to me. I've been living my life in my head since before I could remember. So like now when things happen the way I used to imagine them back in the day, I'm like, did I manifest that shit? Because I was just thinking about that today. Like all my fantasies, all my dreams and stuff, they've never really changed. Like I've always had the same daydreams, the same fantasies, all of that shit. So I just be thinking like in my head that was just me manifesting my future. Because as I get closer and closer to my dreams and my future, I'm like, oh, so what I used to wish for all the time and think about all the time is actually about to happen? Oh, okay, cool. Like even when it comes down to like me being married, like I said I was gonna get married at 25, and I used to like literally say that like it was a fact. And guess what age I got married at? 25. It was a very unconventional and strange way that it happened, but it happened at 25. And then I said I was gonna have my first kid in my 20s. I actually thought I was gonna be a little older. I wound up having my kid at 26, and I had said 28 when I was growing up. But yeah, I be like, it just seems like all the, and I said it was gonna be a boy, and I said he was gonna be chocolate and handsome. Like it just seemed like everything that I imagined growing up is literally happening now. It's just happening in a way. It's just the way that it's happening is weird, because that's not how I imagined it to happen. But the end result is the same as everything that I ever dreamed of and imagined. So when Lexi said that she literally lives her life in her head, I felt that. And then she was saying that like she takes small moments and then like builds them up in her head, which I feel like that's a teenager thing, because I definitely used to do that too. Like I would take like a little nugget, like let's say my crush like spoke to me or something, and I would just like blow that up in my head like that meant so much, like when really he probably was just speaking just to speak. Like it probably wasn't even no big meaning behind it, but I'm like, oh, he probably likes me, this and that, like whatever the case may be. Like I'm just making shit up, but like yeah, I could definitely see what she was talking about. And then she said, and then when she was saying one small moment and I fall in love or whatever, it was showing us the moment where Fez grabbed her hand. So I was just like, Lexi ain't in love, is she? Like she don't think that she's actually in love with Fez. Like a little crush, yeah, but just because he grabbed your hand, like girl, you is not in love with him. Definitely not. Not the conversations y'all be having. Not them dry ass conversations. Ain't no way he's sparking anything in you, baby. But so then we go to a flashback of Lexi and Cassie's past with their dad, and because everything comes back to daddy issues, child. And he's basically, this is when he was on drugs, when they were like becoming like preteens and stuff, and he was on heavy drugs because remember he got in that car accident, and then he had to be on opioids, and then he got addicted to opioids. And so they were in the park with their ice cream, and homeboy is on the bench like passed out like a drunk, but like he was on drugs. And I guess they knew that. I mean, I'm pretty sure they knew by then that their dad was on some shit, but Lexi was like, what's wrong with him? And then Cassie's like, oh, he's just taking a nap. I was like, girl, so you've been clueless your whole life. And then she was like, nah, I don't feel safe driving back with him. Like, maybe we should call mom or whatever. And Cassie was like, no, then he won't trust us. And, you know, or he won't think that we trust him, and then he won't want to come around and da-da-da. Like, so she was already making excuses for niggas from the first man in her life. You know how they say your dad is the first man in your life? That's your first relationship with a man, and that's supposed to kind of show you like how a man's supposed to love you and all that stuff. So that's what her father showed her. Her father showed her that he can give her the bare minimum effort and it's okay. And in fact, I'm gonna overcompensate for you. So you're gonna give me the bare minimum and I'll just fill in the rest. Like, it's my responsibility as a little girl to make sure that you feel like a good dad, even though you're a shit one. So no wonder in relationships with men, she's always trying to give dudes the benefit of the doubt or be delusional about stuff so that she can feel like, so that the guy can feel like he's her Prince Charming, he's her perfect guy. So it started with good old dad. So Lexi's in the backseat literally crying her eyes out. And that's some shit I would have did too. I'm the type, like, if I get upset about something, like when I was younger, I would do that. I would just cry for like a long time. And just like, I would ruin the rest of the day with my like emotions. Cause I like, if like basically if one bad thing happened or one thing made me sad, I would just decide to be sad for the rest of the day. I was just one of those people. I was very dramatic. I'm still kind of dramatic, as you can see. Oh yeah, that was another reason for this look. Oh, y'all peeped the white glittery highlight too? Yeah, baby. Yeah. I was like, since this was the drama episode, the play episode, I might as well give the girls the drama, baby. The girls, as they say. So it's weird that I don't like Lexi, because she's like the one I'm the most like, I feel. Well, at least younger me. Like, younger me was definitely like that. So Lexi and, okay, so we get back to, a throwback of Lexi and Rue, because we never really saw them as growing up friends. We just always heard Lexi talk about how they were best friends, but we never really got the full story of it, which I never really cared, because like I said, I was never checking for Lexi like that. But basically they're at the store, they're at Fez's store, and Rue is inside buying drugs, and this was before the death of her father. So like I said, Rue been doing drugs for a long time, maybe even like 10, 11 years old. Like, she been doing drugs for a minute. She just wasn't doing like the hard stuff yet. And so I guess she bought weed or whatever, and then Lexi goes to the roof, and Jade slash Rue meets her up there, because it turns into Jade, because it turns into the play. Which, by the way, the play is extraordinary. Like, if we really talk about the technicalities, I don't want to get too deep into it. I'm a play. I was a theater kid myself growing up. I was in dance, I was in theater, I was in chorus. I did all of the performing arts things growing up between middle school and high school. And we put on really good productions, but baby, this production right here, this supersedes anything I've ever been in. And I'm just like, I mean, I know it's a movie, so of course it's gonna be like extra good. But I was just like, revolving floors, and they had a whole replica of the store. So for this scene, it looked exactly like Fez's store, and they're like sitting on the roof exactly like how they were in real life. And I was just like, the fucking backdrops and stuff, like, and the props, it was just, I was just like sorry, my throat was tickling and I was trying to fight it, but I couldn't, excuse me. But yeah, so I was just like, what is the budget? What kind of school do they go to? They seem like they go to a normal ass public school. It seems like they might have rich people at their school, but it's not like that. It's not like it's just everybody rich. So I was just like, how in the hell is this play got all this all these props and all these what would you call it? Like, not backdrops, but like actual, like the store, like how they had the store. Well, I called it a replica, but like, yeah, a replica of stores and full bedrooms, and it looks exactly how it looked in real life. And I'm just like, this is extraordinary. Like, that's not believable at all that a public high school could put on a production like this. But I said I wasn't gonna spend too much time on it, and I did anyway. Okay, so yeah, they're sitting on the roof talking, and basically Lexi's talking about how Rue kind of made her okay with being different and weird and standing out and not being like, you know, not being like everybody else and just fitting in because it's more comfortable to fit in. Like, she was basically telling her, like, you think you want to fit in, you think you want to change yourself to fit in, but like in the end you're not going to be happy with that. Like, it's gonna feel good for a little while, and then you're gonna be like, this sucks. So yeah, just don't do that. And then I got confused again about age, because I was like, she's younger than Cassie, but she's the same age as Rue, but I thought that Rue was the same age as Cassie. So I'm like, is Cassie and I want to say Martha. They made Maddie name Martha in the play. But I was like, does that mean that Cassie and Nate and Maddie and all of them are like older, and then Rue and Lexi are the same age? Like, it's just really confusing as far as like what ages are these people. We know that Maddie is 18 because she had her 18th birthday. But other than that, we don't know nobody else's age, and it's just so confusing to me. So if she's 18, we know that Maddie's definitely graduating. Is Cassie the same age as Maddie? Is Nate the same age as Maddie? Are they graduating? And then Rue still has another year in high school or something. Like, but then again, jumping ahead real quick, Rue had a conversation with her mom. I guess I'll go ahead and talk about it. Rue had a conversation with her mom where her mom basically said, you know, I give up. If you want to do drugs. I'm not going to stop you anymore. I'm not going to stand in your way. If you want to fry every last brain cell in your head, do it. Like, I'm going to focus on my younger daughter now. Like, if I have to choose between losing 2 daughters and losing one, I'm going to just lose one. Because I'm not going to let Gia go down a bad path because I've been so busy focusing on you this whole time. Like, I'm not... Basically, everything that Ali was telling her, she took that to heart, I would say. And she really thought about that thing, and maybe she even still been talking to Ali, and maybe he's still been helping her through it a little bit, because she was spitting that no nonsense Ali talk, you know, like she was like, yeah, I'm on Team Gia now. Like, I tried with you, and you're almost 18 now. You about to be out of my house. So ding, 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 ding. That means she's the same age as Maddie them. So Lexi, once again, if Lexi was back to them being on the roof, Lexi was talking about we should change before we go to high school. So why is Lexi and Rue in the same grade? Because she was like, this was right before they went to high school. So if y'all the same age, then why is she almost 18, but you're younger than Cassie, who's almost 18? So I don't know, child. The math ain't mathing. They should have made sure that the math mathed, because it ain't mathing. But anyway, so there's a one scene between Gia and Rue, the scene where Rue had said, you know, I feel like I don't know anything about you anymore. Like, have you been? How's life been? And she said, I'll tell you when you get back from rehab. So the conversation continued, and Gia basically said, do you ever get afraid that the older you get, the less you're going to be able to remember your dad? I mean, our dad. See? Everything's so much about Rue. I'm sitting here talking about your dad, their dad, or whatever. And then Rue was like, yeah. And then Gia was like, how do we stop that from happening? And Rue was like, you literally can't. And that touched home, too, because I've lost people that, you know, at an earlier age. Like, I lost my grandmas, both of my grandmas, when I was in high school. And, yeah, sometimes I do feel like I be forgetting things, or like if I talk to my mom, or if I talk to an older cousin or something, like they'll remind me of stuff that I kind of forgot about, and I'll be like, oh yeah. Like, it's kind of like that whole thing about how they say when the old heads die, like all the stories of our history are gonna kind of die with them, unless like they pass it on to us and we remember. But it's like, if we lose them early, like how are we gonna do that? You know what I mean? And then like, I guess talking to our parents will have to keep it alive. But that is scary, like how history gets more and more erased the further we get from it, even in our own family units, but also just in the world in general. And we get fed bullshit and lies, and the truth gets covered up. That's a deeper level that we don't really have to go down right now. But yes, like, it's like history definitely gets erased, because in a lot of ways, once a person dies, like a lot of history dies with them, because I mean, our brains can't really obtain every last detail that we remember of them forever. So that was definitely a deep moment. And even me, like, I lost my dad, like 4 years ago? And, well, no, like 3 years ago. Probably about 3.5 at this point. And even I be like, whenever I reach out to my brother or my stepmom or whatever, like, they'll like bring something up, and I'll be like, oh my gosh, I remember that. Like, things that aren't just naturally in my head. And so yeah, I guess to answer Gia's question, the best way to not let it happen is to just keep talking about them, and keep talking about them to people that knew them, you know, and people that you had relationships with them, because other than that, there is no way to keep it alive, like Rue said. So then we go to Cassie and Nate, and Nate's dressing Cassie like Maddie, and he gives her Maddie's necklace, the same necklace he gave her for her birthday. He took it back when he went over there to get the tape. He took the necklace back, and so he gave it to Maddie. I mean, he gave it to Cassie. So this just goes to show that Nate, like, I don't even think it matters who he's with at this point. I think it's just like whoever's gonna like do what he says or make him feel good, like, that's who he's gonna allow to be his girl or be around him. Because it's like he just passed the torch, like, take the necklace from you, give it to her. Like, you couldn't even get her a brand new necklace. Yeah, you don't love that girl. And so Cassie's talking all this nonsense about, oh, I'll be your dream girl. I'll do whatever you want. There's nothing better in life than like being loved by someone. And I just want to be loved by you. Like, whatever you want me to eat, whatever you want me to say, whoever you want me to talk to, whoever you don't want me to talk to. I want all your homeboys to want to fuck me, but they won't be able to because I'm yours. Did I do a good Cassie? I do a good Cassie, don't I? It's the wig, baby. It's the wig. I do a good Cassie. Like, whatever you want, I'm yours. And I was just like, girl, like, what? Like, I just wanted to fucking puke. I was like, what is wrong with this girl? But it was fitting for her character, so I was like, okay. I wasn't shocked. I was just like, I just wanted to throw up. Cause baby, if you ever think you gonna tell me what to eat, who? On what planet? Which planet are you on? Cause you will never tell me what to eat and what not to eat. That was the main thing that I was upset about. And the way I dress. Cause I already know how to dress, so you ain't gotta tell me how to dress, okay? But tell me what to eat and who to talk to? Oh Lord, no. Nate would hate my ass. And then he was like, why would you, even Nate was like questioning her. He was like, you're not afraid of what people are gonna say? Like you're not afraid of being judged and like looked at funny? Like you would do all that? Even Nate was like, girl, you crazy. Like what the fuck? Basically, he was like, why would you do that? And then she was like, at least I'm loved. And I was like, anyway, next. So, there was this one part where Lexi smokes with Rue and Fez, and I was really confused if that was the past or the present, because I was like, I didn't think Lexi knew Fez like that. But I mean, she was there that time that Rue was buying weed from him, and then they went on the roof, and then she was smoking the weed, and they were talking about, oh, when we get to high school, this and that, this and that. So we know that was a past situation. But then we had this time where they was on Fez's couch, and Rue was smoking with Fez, and she got on my nerves. So yeah, there was a time where Rue was smoking with Lexi. She gave her a shotgun on Fez's couch, and I'm thinking it was a throwback, because whenever they do a throwback, they always have Rue in them 2 French braids, and she was wearing the French braids. So I was like, so that's the past? But I was like, but that doesn't make sense, because when Fez and Lexi interacted at the party in the first episode, they were acting like they were meeting for the first fucking time, remember? Because she was like, yeah, I've known Rue since I was 4 or whatever the fuck she said. And he was like, and she was like, I don't know why I said that. And he was like, it's cool, y'all met when y'all met. So if they were acting like they didn't know each other in the first episode, why are we getting a flashback of Lexi chilling on his couch smoking weed with him? That makes absolutely no sense, because you didn't know Fez, remember? But now y'all got a memory with Fez in it? I don't know. That didn't add up at all. So Ashtray sees Faye and Custard whispering. We're back at Fez's house. Oh, by the way, Fez been getting ready for this play the whole time. So timing wise, we still don't know what's going on, because when we're at the play, Lexi is constantly looking in the audience at Fez's seat that is still empty. It's been empty the whole episode. But when we go back to Fez's house, he's still getting ready. So I don't know if he's late for the show. I don't know if this all happened before the show started and we're just getting, little nuggets dropped in of what was happening at his house. Because I was just like, he late as hell. And it's taking him a long ass time to button up that little steam shirt and put it on and go. Like, I'm like, what? And then, I don't know. So Ashtray sees Faye and Custard whispering, so now he on go mode. You already know Ashtray don't motherfucking play. If he see anything out of place, he about to go in. So he done grab him a knife, a little pocket knife or whatever, and done put it in his sleeve. And now he like walking slowly over to Custard. So who the fuck knows what he about to do? He might just stab that nigga right in the throat. And so then, and then Fez calls Faye to come here while she talking to her man, and to ask her should he wear a tie or not. I'm like, is this not awkward as fuck? How you gonna take somebody else's girlfriend from out their conversation, even though I'm not saying he knew they was talking, but if he's over there, they should be hanging out because they go together. right? So you gonna take a girl away from her boyfriend to ask how you should dress yourself, and the boyfriend's okay with it. Weird ass dynamic, like I said. But he was like, should I wear a tie or no tie? And she was like, you look handsome with no tie. And she giving him the eyes and giving him all this energy that she ain't giving to her boyfriend. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get off that. I just have to make it very clear that I said these two are probably gonna end up together, and I think I'm about to be right, because I'm like, all this energy she giving him. I mean, if he don't get killed or taken to jail, that is. But yeah, I'm like, I was right about them two too, because I just be right about shit. But so he was like, do you think other people will think I'm handsome? And I was like, Fez, stop it. Like, how you gonna ask one girl if another girl gonna think you handsome? Like, first of all, you already know Lexi like your ass. That's why you got the flowers and shit. And second of all, you know Faye like your ass. Because if you don't, you really do smoke way too much weed. And I smoke a lot of weed, and I can still see that Faye like you. Okay? It's not that hard to figure out. Especially walking around in them underwears that she calls shorts. So then we have a moment where it talks about Rue and Jules. And basically, oh yeah, Elliot's there too, by the way, at the play. And Elliot is not sitting with Jules. He's sitting like way in the back somewhere. So I'm really confused. Like, I know last episode Rue didn't want to talk about them, but I need to know what's happening. Because what y'all did, y'all fucked and then stopped talking to each other? And then y'all fucked, ratted out Rue, and then just stopped talking? Y'all ain't friends no more? Y'all don't fuck no more? Y'all don't see each other? Y'all don't talk? Like, because remember Rue was about to say, Rue had said, oh, Jules and Elliot haven't talked ever since. And then that's when she stopped and was like, fuck them, I don't want to talk about them. And then now y'all are at the place sitting far apart from each other. So I'm just like, y'all really just fucked that one time and just stopped talking? Like, then y'all didn't have to even fuck then. Y'all didn't even have to fuck up friendship then. Because if y'all was just going to do all that and then never talk again, like, lost about that one too. But anyways, Rue winds up, well, she sees Jules in the bathroom at school or whatever, and she basically was like that they hadn't talked since the bullshit intervention, which is, it's funny that she looks at it as bullshit, because it's like, I thought you wanted to be clean. You shouldn't have, it shouldn't feel like bullshit anymore now that you're clean and you're on the path to getting clean. You should definitely look at it differently now. Like, maybe the bullshit part was that they came together and it clearly looked like they had probably hooked up or whatever. I don't know if I still don't know if Rue actually caught on to the fact that they hooked up, because people were saying that Jules was in his sweatshirt or something, which I'm like, Jules kind of dresses in boy stuff too sometimes. So I was like, just because she had on a sweatshirt don't mean it was his. But a lot of people were saying that was his sweatshirt and that Rue caught on that they hooked up or whatever. But I don't know. Long story short, why are you still considering it a bullshit intervention if you know for a fact that you was a druggie and you needed to get off drugs and you want to be clean now? Then you shouldn't think it's bullshit. But if you don't want to talk to Jules, that's fine. Like, I do you, but it wasn't bullshit. Like, you was down bad, Rue. So yeah, Rue was just like, what's up, or whatever. And then Jules got all excited. She started perking up, and she was like, oh my God, Rue, talk to me. And then Rue went over to the little dry your hands thing, and then continued to ignore her. And then she was like, oh, that's all I get? Okay. And I was like, yeah, that's all you get, Rue. I mean, Jules, pipe down, pipe down. So then we finally get back around on Hallie and Marta's relationship in the play, which is real life Maddie and Cassie. And basically Marta spent a lot of time at their house, at Lexi and Cassie's house, because, well, Marta / Maddie, whatever, spent a lot of time at their house growing up because her parents fought a lot, and so she would just sleep over at their house. And I guess their dad was already gone, so, because I remember Hallie saying on stage that, you know, my parents used to fight a lot too, so I get it, like, you can always, like, stay here and blah blah. And she told her to get in her bed because she would sleep on the floor. And basically it was just showing how they had a actual deep connection. Like, it wasn't just, oh, we're both cheerleaders and we're both hot, so we're friends. Like, they actually, like, went through life shit together, and they were, like, there for each other through a lot of shit. So it made more sense as to why Maddie was, like, more sad than angry when everything went down. And then it actually flashes us back to that moment where she chased Cassie up the stairs, because remember, we never got to see what happened with that. And basically Cassie runs into the bathroom like a little coward, because you know she loved hiding in the bathroom. And then Maddie was on the other side screaming at her like, bitch, come out of here, come out of this bathroom and talk to me. Like, was it worth it? Was that dick really worth it to ruin our whole friendship and ruin, you know, everything we had going on and blah blah blah? Like, was it really worth it to ruin this shit between us? Like, fuck Nate, take Nate out of it. Like, what about us? Like, tell me that you don't want this friendship no more. Like, be a woman, come out here and tell me you don't want this fucking friendship. Cause you could have just said that instead of fucking my man. You could have just said you didn't want to be my friend no more. Like, but for you to just do all this betrayal behind my back and act like you still love me and you're still my friend, that's fucked up. So come out here and tell me you don't, that this is over. Like, be a woman. And of course she didn't come out. She on the other side of the door crying, obviously, because that's what Cassie do best. And so Maddie's crying too, and she basically was like, I would have never done this to you. I would have never fucking done this to you, and you're a fucking coward, and fuck you, and I don't want to be your fucking friend anyway. And I said, that's right, Maddie. Let her know. Let her motherfucking know, baby. Gotta let these bitches know I don't need you anyway, ho, because I'm gonna flourish without you, ho. But anyways, my bad. It got a little personal just then. So, yeah. And then it goes back to the play, and basically Lexi, when Lexi first met Marta, she didn't trust her because she felt like she was way too confident, and she was just like, nobody's that confident. Like, how the fuck is she like that? Like, I can't trust a person like that. Which I thought was a weird comment. You can't trust someone who's confident? But then I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense, because I feel like a lot of people in my life fear me too because of my confidence, or people that I've met throughout my life has always had like this weird like apprehension with me, or like has always act kind of tight when I come around, like they scared to make a move or scared to say something. So maybe confidence does scare people, but I don't know why, especially to go as far as to say I can't trust a confident person, because I feel like it's the other way around. I can't trust insecure people, because insecure people will do anything, like fuck your boyfriend. So yeah, like, no, I don't trust insecure people. I'm the other way around with it, because I've always had confidence. Like, I was just born with confidence. I mean, I still get my feelings hurt, and I still, you know, people's words still gonna get to you sometimes, but at the end of the day, I got me. Like, I got me, and if nobody likes me, I like me, and that's enough for me. So one day Marta slash Maddie is putting makeup on Lexi, and Lexi, and it was cute too. It was real cute. And she basically was like, I feel stupid. Like, Lexi was like, I feel stupid like this. And no, baby. And she was like, I feel stupid like this. And Maddie was like, everybody feels stupid. Who gives a shit? Like, and then Lexi was like, do you ever feel stupid? And Maddie was like, I used to, and then I just chose not to anymore. And that's the part that I like about Maddie. Like, that's where I relate with her when it comes to confidence. Like, I'm definitely a Lexi as far as like being a background person, but as far as confidence, I'm a Maddie. Like, I'm like a mixture of Maddie and Lexi, which is a weird combination, huh? Well, I make no sense, so it makes sense, because nothing about me makes sense. But anyway, when it comes to confidence, it's truly like what she said. It's like, you just have to decide that you're the shit. Like, you just really just have to decide that. Because once you decide that, you make different decisions. Like, you don't make Cassie decisions once you really truly believe in yourself. Like, especially when Cassie was like, you know, I'm gonna trust that any decisions you make for me in my life, I'm gonna trust that it's right. That's not something a confident bitch says. That's something a very, very insecure bitch says. If you really are gonna put your life into somebody else's hands and be like, oh, make all the decisions of my life, you must not think very highly of yourself. You don't even trust your own self with your own life and your own persona. That's scary. And so, yes, insecure bitches scare the fuck out of me. Because I don't know what you're going to do behind my back due to jealousy or just due to your brain being fucked up. I don't know. Like, can't trust an insecure bitch for nothing in the world. I'm sorry. I just cannot. But yeah, I like what Maddie said about that. And then she was like, yeah, no one really knows what confidence is at the end of the day. Like, they don't know if you're confident or not. So basically, like, fake it till you make it. Just play confident, and then one day, like, it will turn into real confidence. And I definitely agree with that too, because that's kind of what happened with me. Like, I faked it till I made it. I just played confident, especially when it comes to like modeling and my career and like the things that I'm doing in life. Like, it took a lot of years of just faking it, and now I actually do that shit. Anyways, and it's only up from here, baby. Please know. If you don't know, now you know. You've been informed. It's only up from here. I'm gonna leave it right there. But a lot is on the way, baby. That's all you need to know. So yeah, Cassie goes to the bathroom at that part where they were both on the bed together and they were having that heart to heart. Cassie goes to the bathroom. She's emotional now and she's crying and shit. And then she gets in the mirror and she's just like, and I was just like, what the fuck is happening? Like, she was literally cry smiling. And I was like, huh? I was like, this girl done lost her goddamn mind. She don't, like, I guess she was basically trying to like act like everything was okay, but it was just like real creepy how she did it. I was just like, yeah, this bitch done lost her absolute complete mind. And so, and then so it goes back to the play where we're finally introduced to Jake and Marta. We're finally introduced to Jake, aka Nate, who is played by Ethan, which, by the way, Ethan played a bunch of characters. Like, he played Lexi's mom. He played the photographer in the beginning when we met the characters. He played the dude who was in the backyard. Remember when Lexi was like, everyone's gonna be 10 years from now, 20 years from now in their backyard, like in their shitty backyards with their shitty lives, like thinking about me because I'm gonna be done blossom by then, and they're gonna be like, oh, I wish I would have fucked Lexi or whatever fuck. He was that guy too. He was the little redneck dude in the backyard talking about he wish he would have fucked Lexi or whatever. And then he was also, of course, Nate. And so he's in his football uniform, and they do this big number where it's like a whole football scene. And then Marta, aka Maddie, was like, you guys are gay, because she like went in the locker room and they were like all over each other, like stretching and touching each other and massaging each other. And she was like, you guys are gay. And then everybody was like, and then he was like, and then Jake was like, Marta, don't say that or whatever. And then he was like, can you just go? Like, we need to work out. And then they do this whole musical number. And it's basically just them humping each other, shaking their ass, twerking, just being like flamboyantly as gay as possible. And the crowd loses it because they know it's Nate. They know that we're talking about Nate, and they know, I'm pretty sure most of the school knows that he like struggled with his sexual identity, just because it did get out remember when Maddie found all those dicks in his phone, and then she told Cassie, the same one who swears she in love with him. She told Cassie, and then Cassie told some other people, and so like it kind of had got around that Nate had those dicks in his phone. So of course now everybody knows that Lexi is talking about Nate. You know what I'm saying? And even Maddie was in the audience like, Lexi, you a motherfucking G for that one. Like, everybody was just laughing and clapping and having a good time. Which, by the way, that's another unrealistic thing about this play. They're in high school, and they're doing all this provocative motions on stage. It ain't even about boy on boy. It's the fact that y'all doing all this crude provocative motions, and then on top of that they created like this giant dick, and then they had like jizz coming from the penis and stuff at the end. I was just like, y'all took it all the way. Y'all was like, we're not gonna go halfway, we're gonna go all the way. Oh yeah, and then also speaking on Ethan as well, I feel like Ethan and Lexi should be together. And I've said that before too. I've said that in a previous thing too. I feel like Fez just need to go ahead and fuck Faye. And notice I keep saying fuck, because I don't think he should be with her. I don't think he should have a relationship with her, because at the end of the day, like, she a op girlfriend. You feel me? Like, especially if she don't warn them. Like, if you don't warn them, you ain't down for real. But he should get in them cheeks, them little bitty ass cheeks that she be having bouncing all around the house. And then Lexi need to get with Ethan, because they had chemistry. Like that one scene where she was pumping him up right before the musical number, like they really got chemistry, and they was both really into the fucking play. So they obviously have similar interests and stuff, and they're both kind of like nerdy and quiet and like innocent. And yeah, I just feel like they would flourish together. They would be wonderful together. And he was literally the star of the whole damn play, because he was literally in every scene playing all these different people. I was like, is there not enough guys in their theater program to like do these other parts? Like, obviously not, because he did them all. Even the woman ones, like when he played the mom. Oh yeah, he played their mom and their dad, because there was a scene where Lexi was dancing with her dad on stage, and he was the dad. And then he always played the mom, the drunk mom. So I was just like, that boy played everybody. Oh, and then I guess I'll finish it out with, I was gonna say Jake. See, I already be confusing the names, and now y'all got they little doppelgangers with different names. So it's just like, it's getting real crazy in here. But Nate's dream that he had, I'm gonna just end it out with that. Nate had a creepy ass dream where basically he was in that room where his dad used to, you know, the hotel room where his dad used to fuck people in and film it. And he was in that room, and he was facing the mirror, but in the mirror it was his back. You know how it should have been his face, but it was his back. So you saw his back, and then you saw his back in the mirror. And then like he turns around and looks up, but the reflection stays the same. He turns around and then he looks and sees Maddie in the purple dress, which, by the way, let me insert this real quick. Maddie, Samantha, the lady that Maddie was working for, that I kept thinking wanted to fuck Maddie, she gave Maddie a purple dress as a parting gift, which I was like, where is Maddie going? Are we talking about graduation and she's leaving town? Or are we talking about she's just quitting this job? Because she kept saying like, oh, like the little boy's gonna miss me, like I feel so bad, like he's gonna be heartbroken. And the mom, Samantha, who is also gonna be heartbroken because she act like she got a big ass crush on Maddie, was basically like, oh, it'll be practice for all his other heartbreaks or whatever. So she winds up giving Maddie a gift, and the gift is the purple dress that Maddie kept trying on that was hers. And remember that episode where we find out there was a camera in there, which means they had been recording Maddie. I don't know if it was the husband and Samantha, or if it was just Samantha, but she had been recording Maddie when she would get dressed in and out of those clothes, in and out of her clothes or whatever. So come to find out, she gives her the purple dress that I guess Maddie liked the most or whatever, or used to try on a lot. And I was just wondering, did Maddie catch on that the lady knew she would wear her stuff or try on her stuff? I'm pretty sure she don't know she was being recorded. I know she don't know that. But when she got that as a gift, did she peep the game? Like, oh wait, this lady know I be trying on her shit? Cause you giving me your used dress that you supposedly don't know I be trying on. So how would you know that I would like it? She talking about, something tells me you would like it. Oh, you mean because you be watching recordings of me dressed in and out of your clothes? Child pornography. Well, I guess it's not child pornography because conveniently Maddie did turn 18. So I guess it's not child pornography, but you was filming her before she turned 18, I'm sure, because she was working there before she turned 18. And you sitting there with a camera in your damn closet. But anyway, back to the dream. So Nate sees Maddie in that same purple dress, zipping it down like she's coming out of it or whatever. And then we see a girl walking up to him, which we realize is Jules, with the blonde hair and the pink at the bottom, like she used to wear it last season before she cut it. And then she looks in the mirror and you can see her face. It's still Nate's back in the mirror, but you can see Jules's face, and she's like stroking the back of his hair or whatever. And then she gets pushed down on the bed, but it's not Jules. Now it's Cassie. Cassie gets pushed down on the bed like Jules got pushed down on the bed by the dad in the first season. And then her tights, her pink like netted tights get ripped, like how Cal ripped Jules in real life. Now it's Cassie's tights getting ripped. This show is confusing when it comes to like trying to explain it. But when you see it, you be like, oh, okay, like you catch on. But when you say it, speak it out, it's like, what, and then who, and then where, and then why. But anyway, so Cassie gets pushed down on the bed, gets her tights ripped, and then the dad looks like he's about to lay down over Cassie, and then it's Nate at the very end, laying on the bed. So his dad lays down on top of him, like he about to fuck him. Which I was just like, basically, all of Nate's dreams and fantasies always have those three women in it. Like, have y'all peeped all of that? Like, every time he has a fantasy or a dream or whatever, some kind of sequence where he's thinking about some shit, it's always Jules, Maddie, and Cassie in his dream. Because that episode where he got beat up and he had that little dream sequence, it was those three were in there too. So it's definitely clear that those are like the top 3 women that he thinks about. But now we gotta add Daddy in there, cause Daddy's always in his dreams too, actually. Cause remember, he was in that when Cassie was pregnant in that one dream he had, and remember the dad was like, "What pregnant mama wants to take a dip?" That shit was so weird. The dad is so fucking weird. Mr. Big Balls. I'm just like, I'm glad Cal gone, because he weird as fuck. Like, and it ain't got nothing to do with you fucking transgenders and all that. It got to do with you're just a fucking weirdo. But yeah, so he was like, so yeah, the dad is usually in his fantasies too. So, yeah. So are you in love with your dad, Nate? Are you in love with your dad? Because that's sad. I told you I was a poet, and I got the poet hat on, a little artistic vibes. But yeah, so that was a fucking creepy ass nightmare. So long story short, after the football sequence, of course Nate knows it's about him, everybody knows it's about him. He storms out of the fucking theater, and like, of course, Cassie goes chasing after him like, I didn't know she was gonna do that. And he was like, that's your fucking sister, how did you not know? You know what, fuck it, just get out of my house, get the fuck out of my house, get all your shit, and just go. And I was like, wow. I was like, you went through all that for that man. You gave up a friendship that was more like a sisterhood. You moved out your mama house, told her, fuck you, bye. Basically, not actually. You yelling at your sister because she's sitting here telling you that you're a dumbass for like fucking with him, and you sitting there acting like your sister the crazy one. And then now you out on your ass. Now you gotta go back home and look like an idiot and go back to your mama and be like, yeah, he kicked me out, and be a dumbass idiot. And then you gotta go back to school, and now who you gonna walk down the hallway with? Now who gonna dress you? Now who gonna dress you like Maddie and Jules? Because that's all he was doing, dressing you like Maddie and Jules. Like a little combination, a little combo. Because them the 2 girls I think he really loved, and then Cassie was just a fill-in. Like, point blank period. So yeah, that's basically the episode. I hope I got everything. I really wanted to keep it short, but I think that's impossible at this point, because it just be so much going on. All I gotta say is, when we get our season finale this week or on Sunday, all I gotta say is it's gonna be a lot of loose ends not tied up, because there's just way too many things at this point that haven't been addressed or haven't been like concluded. First of all, Lori, don't Rue still owe that lady money? Second of all, Fez. What happened with Fez? He didn't make it to the play. We know that Custard is trying to rat them out. We know that Ashtray got the knife in his sleeve. So what's gonna happen? Are the cops gonna bust in? Is Ashtray gonna slit Custard's throat? Is the girlfriend finally gonna tell him so that he can get the, so they can handle the situation or run from the cops? Or like, is Lexi gonna finally realize that she need to be with Ethan instead of Fez? Is Rue gonna get put in the rehab place finally? Is Gia gonna get her grades up and stop talking to boys through the middle of the night up into the early morning? Because Mama said she come into Gia room to get her up from school and she already on the phone caking. She ain't say caking, but what else you gonna be on the phone doing? Talking to your bestie? No, she be on the phone with boys. So, and we already know she like boys because remember, well, like boys, not saying like heterosexual, but we know she like male attention is basically what I'm saying, because last season with the little twin, the McKay twins or whatever, and she was like smoking weed with them and doing all that shit. So yeah, it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. Is Ali gonna fuck the mom, or are they gonna date or whatever? Hell, is Nate mom gonna date? Cause she said she was gonna get a Peloton, get her body right, and get her a new husband. That's what she was like. Nate, don't you want a stepdaddy? Don't you want a stepdaddy? So yeah, it's just a lot. It's a lot of things going on. What's gonna happen with Cassie now that she done been kicked out of her Prince Charming house? What's she gonna do to Lexi? Cause we know she coming for Lexi. That last scene where she was breathing all hard into the window and it was fogging up and she was looking like Carrie, minus the blood. Yeah, she coming for Lexi ass, and we just don't know in what way, but she coming for Lexi ass. And then when it comes to Maddie, where is she leaving to go to? Why did Samantha give her a gift and say like, oh yeah, the little card said don't look back? So where the fuck is Maddie going? Because if y'all take Maddie off this damn show, I promise y'all won't watch season 3. Y'all need to take Kat off, because that's who y'all want to take off, because that's the only storyline I ain't checking for. But my prediction is she gonna be checking for Ethan again, because he done stole the show. So of course she's gonna be like, oh my god, you did such a great job, like I'm so proud of you, like da da da. She's gonna be interested in him all of a sudden again, but he ain't gonna want her back. Hopefully he'll get on Lexi. And who else? Child, I guess Lexi gonna be popular now because everybody, like to play and shit. I don't know. But yeah, I think I covered everything. One more episode. I've actually really enjoyed myself, and I'm glad y'all have been here to join me on this ride. And I'll see y'all next week for the season finale review, baby. Toodles.